Alrighty, so well earlier tonight, where we definitely saw a U.S. Open Cup final didn't go on according to the script, with everybody thought that a Lionel Messi Inter Miami team was going to beat the Houston Dynamo, and that obviously didn't happen. This Campoenes Cup definitely gone according to script because I think when you look at this game coming in, as much as LAFC want to finally defeat that narrative that they can't get over the hump against a Liga MX team, at the end of this game, the narrative continue. I mean, it's just got to be brutal for LAFC this season. This is now third time this season and this year alone that they lost to a Liga MX team in a knockout tournament, and the second time in a game where a trophy is on the line, where they lose to a Liga MX team. And to be fair, when this one gone to a PK shootout, I just had a feeling that yeah, this is not going to be in favor of LAFC because we know Tigres is very good in terms of PK shootout. Not to mention their goalkeeper is pretty much the master of the shithousery and the gamesmanship in terms of the PK shootout. But also, there's also that narrative that whenever an MLS versus Liga MX team goes to a PK shootout, it never favors an MLS team. And then the narrative, the fact that, Tigres, it doesn't matter how they get it done. This is a team that has that winning culture, has that ability to get over the hump to get trophies, and we saw it again in this game. Now, early on, they showed the scoreline 2-1 in favor of LAFC, which I thought at first, I'm like, is maybe Apple TV kind of telling us something that we don't know? Maybe that, the final score of this game indeed will be 2-1, which I'm pretty sure LAFC fans were ecstatic. Spoiler alert, that of course is not, turns out to be the final score of this game. And I think the reason why they showed 2-1 was when this game was happening, there was another MLS game going on between the Colorado Rapids and Vancouver, and that one, the score line was 2-1. So I think the Apple TV producer accidentally copy and paste that score line into this one. But yeah, it just felt like in the beginning, is that maybe just kind of a prediction of the future that LAFC will be able to win this cup? And like I said, spoiler alert, that didn't happen. It was also very smoky inside BMO Stadium. Again, there was pyrotechnics, so that made the stadium a little bit smoky, and it was kind of hard to see the action for the first couple of minutes. But that being said, it doesn't really matter because there wasn't really much that happened, and it seems like this was one of those cup final where both of these teams were clearly feeling each other out. In fact, I think when you look at how this game has played, this game kind of had your typical kind of cup final where it's very tight. Chances are at a premium, and who, of course, eventually could prevail in a key moment of this game, or even when it go all the way to a PK shootout. Now, in the 12th minute, we did see the first opportunity with Crepeau denying Quinones from long range. Then on the other end, Bawanga puts it right to Guzman, but the shots were only 2-1 through 25 minutes in this game. We then get some coming together because, again, just a reminder, it's an MLS versus Liga MX match. I talked about how many times I mentioned that almost every single time in the Leeds Cup, whenever there's an MLS versus Liga MX match. In fact, you might as well just kind of put that in a bingo card. The fact that every time I mention there's a coming together in a game, it's probably going to be involving an MLS versus Liga MX match. But that being said, in the 31st minute, Cordova would puts it wide from long range. I thought LAFC has done well, at least on the transitional part. When they get to the final third of the transition, that's been the problem for them. They've been relatively poor because of that. Though Oliveira did puts it wide from close range. I thought he had a good game in this one, Oliveira. But we do head to halftime scoreless between LAFC and Tigres. Now in the second half, there was a huge shout for a penalty for Tigres that was not given. They were thinking that Chiellini handballed that one. I mean, I think that would have been harsh to give it a handball because it kind of ricocheted a couple of LAFC player, and then it may have hit the hand of Chiellini. But again, it already ricocheted a couple of bodies from LAFC. So yeah, I don't think that would have been an incredible harsh penalty to give. In my opinion, especially for a game like this, the Campoenes Cup. But again, not much has happened as things are still very tight. And I kind of had a feeling this was one of those games where one goal might be enough, and maybe this is going to go the distance, which is the fact that we're going to go straight to a PK shootout. And then in the 60th minute, Guzman would deny Oliveira in the near post. But then in the 62nd minute, Palacios would get his marching order here. He gets a second yellow card. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was a harsh second yellow because yes, there was, you could argue maybe there was a little bit contact on Cordova, but still, I don't think it's worthy of a second yellow, especially in a big game like this. But nevertheless, LAFC were down to 10 men. Gignac then hits one right to make oh, not McMath. Got the wrong goalkeeper. I accidentally put the RSL goalkeeper there, but he uh hits one right to Crapo on the free kick. No RSL fans. McNabb didn't actually got traded to LAFC. I just made a mistake on that part. But in the 66th minute, Linus had a shot that took a deflection and goes right to Crapo. And I just had a feeling Tigres was smelling blood. Like they knew that they had the momentum. They were pressing for the opener. But that being said, as soon as I wrote that, on the other end, Bawanga almost got the opening goal for LAFC as his shot took a wicked deflection, but missed wide. Dan Carioca would post it high from long range. Before it looked like LAFC finally got that opener as Dennis Bawanga would score the opening goal because that's what Dennis Bawanga does. But the problem was when you go back to the attacking sequence of this play that led to a goal, it was on a free kick and the ball was still moving. So yeah, as much as LAFC was trying to take it quickly, when the ball is still moving on the pitch, even if you take it quickly, the referee's not going to allow that. The ball has to be dead on the pitch before you can take it quickly. So yeah, that was a good call there by the referee to spot that. So we remain 0-0 in this game. But then in the 85th minute, we got 10v10 soccer as Carioca would had a denial of goal score opportunity. Little do we know that that would be a big time moment for Tigres because obviously for Carioca not a great moment for him because he gave the ball away in the worst spots possible. But at the same time, I think knowing how Tigres were able to win this in the end, they're gonna be very thankful of Karaoke in terms of this moment because yeah, if Bawanga was in on goal there, I'm pretty sure that would have been 1-0 in favor of LAFC. So yeah, it was 10v10 soccer. Guzman then denied Bawanga on the free kick, and then there was a mad scramble in the LAFC box that ended with Quinones missed wide. There was a couple of times where the ball could have went out, but somehow it still kept into play, and it was just a mad scramble there. LAFC very fortunate to not concede. And really, as the time winds down, I kind of had a feeling both of these teams were selling for penalties. And again, for LAFC, I don't think that was a good idea considering that, when you go to a PK show, especially against Tigres, it's probably not going to go so well. Though, that being said, as the full-time whistle was blown, we get some more extracurricular activity as it started with Crepo and Guzman kind of just congratulate each other, but then they probably said something more than just congratulate each other. There was choice words that was being shown. There was bit of a pushing and shoving right in front of the Tigres bench. I believe one of the assistant for Tigres got sent off because of it. But that being said, after all that mess was dealt with, we go to the PK shootout. With this game ended 0-0 in regular time, and in the PK shootout, it's Angulo that wins the penalty kick shootout and the Campoenes Cup for Tigres after Tillman and Hollinshead missed their penalty. Tillman's penalty, of course, got saved, but Hollinshead penalty, yeah, also got saved, and it was not close. Both of those penalty was not good whatsoever. And yeah, again, the narrative continue for this LAFC team. They simply cannot get over the hum in a cup final matchup or a knockout matchup this year against the Liga MX team as they lose this Campoenes Cup. And I think this is the first time in free Campoenes Cup that we've seen an MLS team is able to win because I believe last year in terms of the Campoenes Cup. I think NYCFC, of course, won last year's edition against Atlas. Then we got Columbus winning, and then in 2019 we saw I think Atlanta won becoming the first MLS team to win the Campoenes Cup against Club America. But yeah, that winning streak for MLS winning Campoenes Cup has come to an end. As yeah, in the end, Tigres able to win another trophy because that's what Tigres does. But the shots in this one, 13 shots for the 8 that LAFC had. Both teams had 3 shots on goal. 3 shots off target for the 4 that Tigres had. 6 shots that was blocked for the 2 that LAFC had. And possession-wise, 64% possession compared to 36% possession that LAFC has in this game. And I'm going to reiterate what I said before whenever LAFC is in a cup final. If it wasn't for that MLS Cup win that they had, and if it wasn't for Gareth Bale scoring a dramatic late winner and then eventually them winning a PK shootout, and also facing against a team that is the Philadelphia Union that has that legacy of failure in terms of choking big games, I think LAFC would have joined that list. I mean, just again, that this is kind of the narrative of LAFC, and that I mentioned it so many times. I know LAFC fans are kind of getting tired to hear about, but at the end of the day, the narrative still continues. this team simply cannot get it done over the hump when it really matters. And again, besides that MLS Cup, it just feels like it's the same story over and over again to a point where I don't blame some LAFC fans might question Trindolo in terms of the way that he's managed. I mean, in some way, there are some parts where LAFC kind of were on got some bad luck, and that that bad luck that they had in this one was in the 77th minute when they score, but but unfortunately it was disallowed because they took an illegal free kick there. But still, again, when you look at the tactics that Steve Trindle rolled out, it wasn't really that good either. And also, not to mention a PK shootout selection. Having Tillman and Hollinshead taking the penalty as part of the first 5 round, that is criminal. I mean, those two guys are. I mean, Hollinshead, I think he has had a history of taking penalty, but not Timothy Tillman. And the fact that they didn't put Carlos Vela as one of the first one to take a penalty. I mean, notice how I didn't mention Carlos Vela name in there. He was non-existent in this game. He had, this was probably the worst game I've seen Carlos Vela has played because I mean you could have said that Carlos Vela was not available in this game even though he played in this game, and you wouldn't be incorrect because he barely touched the ball in this one too. But at the end of the day, again, this team it's got to be frustrating if you're an LAFC fan that besides the MLS Cup glory that they had, they just simply cannot get over the hump when it really matters, and especially against these Liga MX team. And that again, this is the third time this year alone they lost to a Liga MX team, even in a game where a trophy is on the line, or in a knockout competition, as we saw in the League Cup, where they just went meltdown down mode in that game against Rayados in the Leagues Cup quarterfinal match. But there you have it. That is pretty much it in terms of looking at Campoenes Cup. Let me know in the comments below what do you think of this video. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure to leave a like, smash that subscribe button. And yeah, I of course will see you guys next time.